I love the accent.
Well, thank you.
And when we have this up on our YouTube page, just to get the body language on all of this, it's precious.
Well, yes, I decided to put her up north because my grandmother was from up north, and I just loved the accent. I tried to water it down a little bit because if you really heard a northern accent, listeners would not understand them.
I think I remember seeing a movie one time that was filmed somewhere in Great Britain, and it was in English and it had English subtitles for American audiences.
Yes. I know. We need them sometimes, don't you?
But I love the accents and the different and especially having a British accent being done by a Brit, which is because and there's several different British accents, just like there's several different American accents.
Absolutely.
And I'm from the South. In Virginia, and I used to have a thick Southwestern Virginia accent that I've lost most of because of my career. And as I will sometimes cringe if I'm seeing Southern characters in a movie or on television that are not authentic Southerners playing the characters, and I can cringe and tell that it's fake sometimes.
Well, the first time when we moved to Virginia, the first time we needed the house painting, and this wonderful a man called Mark Campbell, I remember his name, and he was from Virginia, and he was talking to me about accents, and he turned around and he said, "Well, Mrs. Reiss," he said, "I don't think I have an accent." And I just looked at him and I said, "You know what, Mark? No, you don't, because obviously where he's from, that's how people talk." I mean, he was from the South from Virginia, but it just cracked me out. He thought I had a very strong accent, but that day I just started smiling. I thought, well, different people have different interpretations of what their accents are. So
it's like when I attended my high school reunion the last time. Everybody wondered what happened to my voice because I sounded very different than everybody else.
Yes, I tend to pick up accents. I'm sure you do. I mean, being on the radio, everything. If we went to Australia, and I started to pick it up, and Mitchell's just cringing, and I don't mean to offend anybody, it's just you automatically kind of pick it up and stuff.
So you have another piece to read.
Well, I have one more. She was, Joyce was famous for this particular character. It's a nursery school teacher. And I've had nursery school teachers tell me that they totally recognize these children. And she's in charge of this nursery school. And she has several of them. One is a nativity rehearsal of a nativity scene play. But this is called Free Activity. And this is a nursery school teacher. And imagine her with about 20 children running around under the age of 3. "Oh, hello, Mrs. Hingle. Oh, I'm so glad you could come along. As you see, we're just having a free activity period. And in our free activity period, each little individual chooses his or her own occupation. Some are painting, some are using Play-Doh, some work at a sand table. Well, we feel that each little one must get to the bottom of his or herself and find out what he really wants of life. Who's making that buzzing noise? Well, please stop it, Neville. Hazel, dear, come away from the door and get on with your Play-Doh. I love to see them so happily occupied, each one expressing his little personality. George, don't do that. Now then, children, I want you all to say good morning to Mrs. Hingle. Good morning, Mrs. Hingle. No, Sydney, not goodbye. Mrs. Hingle's only just come. You don't want her to go away yet. No, she hasn't got a funny hat on. That's her hair. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hingle. Sometimes we are just a trifle outspoken. We try to encourage honesty, only sometimes it doesn't always seem to... Oh, here's my friend Caroline. Hello, Caroline. Oh, wow, Caroline's painting such a lovely red picture, aren't you, Caroline? I wonder what it is. Perhaps it's a lovely red sunset, is it? Or is it a big red orange? Oh, it's a picture of Mummy. What, for a moment, I thought it was a big red orange, but now you tell me. Yes, I can see it's a picture of Mummy. Aren't you going to give her a nose? No nose. It's so interesting the way they see things. Sydney, don't blow at Edgar, please. No, I know I said you could choose what you're going to do, but you cannot choose to blow at Edgar. Well, because it isn't a good idea. Yes, I know it makes his hair go up and down, but I don't want you to do it. Now go back to the sand table. There's a good boy. Hazel, dear. Hazel, I don't want to have to say it again. Please come away from the door. Well, why can't you? Well, you shouldn't have put your finger in the keyhole and then it wouldn't have got stuck. No, children, there is no need for everyone to come and look just because poor Hazel's got her finger caught in the keyhole. No, back to work, please. No, Sydney, I don't think she's stuck in there forever and ever. No, I don't think for 1 minute we'll have to get the fire brigade to come and take the door down to set her free. You do exaggerate, Sydney. Hazel, dear, why did you put your finger in the keyhole? To see if it would go in. Well, now let's see if we can get it out. Now, who is making that buzzing noise? Neville. Look, well, I know you're a busy bee, but boy busy bees don't buzz. Only bee busy bees buzz. I can still hear you, Neville. Neville. I should think so. He's such a musical child, one doesn't want to discourage him. Sydney, take the paintbrush out of your ear and give it back to Lavinia. Look, now then, Hazel, have you tried wiggling it? You know, Mrs. Hingle, this child's finger really is caught in this keyhole. I think the fire brigade are the best in an emergency. Well, yes, there is a telephone at the end of the hall. Would you? Oh, that is good of you. Look, I'll stay here and hold the fort. Thank you so much. And children, I don't want anyone to get excited, but kind Mrs. Hingle has gone to see if we can get one of those clever men from the fire brigade to come and help us get Hazel's finger out. Oh, you've got it out, Hazel. Oh, well done. Oh, that's lovely. No, it's all right, Mrs. Hingle. She's got it out. Yes, Sydney, you are not to go near that keyhole. Sydney, can you get it out? I spoke too soon, Mrs. Hingle. Oh, Sydney.